Even the slow, cumulative effects of light can be remarkably powerful and enduring. An illustration of the rapid influence of light on your biology is the immediate alertness you experience when transitioning from a dimly lit or dark room into a brightly lit one. This alertness is driven by a signal transmitted from your eyes to a region in your brainstem called the locus ceruleus, leading to the release of adrenaline, akin to the sudden awakening triggered by a plunge into very cold water. These rhythms do not rely on numbers or dates, but rather on the quantity of hormones released in your brain and body each day and night, helping your body track where you are in the 365-day calendar year. This process may seem unusual, but it is a profound adaptation to the Earth's journey around the sun, wherein the amount of light you receive each day varies depending on the time of year and your location on the planet. Conversely, at the other end of the spectrum, we have the slower integrating effects of light on our biology. These effects entail your body averaging the amount of light in your environment rather than responding to acute, momentary changes. One prominent example of this is the phenomenon of circannual rhythms, a kind of internal calendar within your body. For instance, in the Northern Hemisphere during the winter, days are shorter and nights longer, while in the summer, the opposite occurs with longer days and shorter nights. These circannual rhythms provide your body with valuable cues to adapt to the changing patterns of light and darkness in your environment. This particular cell doesn't need a fancy name, but if you're curious, it's known as the intrinsically photosensitive ganglion cell, or sometimes referred to as the melanopsin cell, due to its possession of an opsin, a type of photopigment that absorbs short wavelength light from sunlight. These cells transmit signals to specific brain regions, which, in turn, connect with your pineal gland, a small, pea-sized gland nestled in the center of your brain responsible for releasing melatonin, a hormone. In essence, all you need to understand is that light stimulates these specific cells, the intrinsically photosensitive melanopsin cells. Consequently, melatonin production from the pineal gland is inhibited. When considering this in the context of the Earth's journey around the sun throughout the year, it means that during shorter days, when less light, on average, reaches these cells, the release of melatonin persists for a more extended period. This is because light, as mentioned earlier, suppresses melatonin production. Conversely, in the summer months, the increased amount of light, on average, reaching your eyes even if you spend more time indoors, leads to the activation of these cells, consequently reducing the duration of melatonin release from the pineal gland. Melatonin acts as a transducer, effectively communicating the average light levels in your physical environment. For those residing in the Northern Hemisphere, you experience more melatonin release during the winter months compared to the summer months. Thus, there exists a calendar system founded on a hormone using light to gauge your position in the Earth's orbit around the sun. Melatonin acts as a transducer, effectively communicating the average light levels in your physical environment. For those residing in the Northern Hemisphere, you experience more melatonin release during the winter months compared to the summer months. Thus, there exists a calendar system founded on a hormone using light to gauge your position in the Earth's orbit around the sun. This doesn't mean that simply elevating melatonin levels through supplementation or staying in constant darkness, which would inhibit melatonin, is a viable strategy for cancer prevention. It's important to clarify that the fluctuations in melatonin levels throughout the 24-hour cycle and the alterations in the duration of the melatonin signal over the seasons are responsible for its anti-cancer and antioxidant effects. Thus, it's not about maintaining a constant state of high melatonin, but rather the rhythmic variations in melatonin levels that confer these benefits. As a reminder, light must reach our eyes because the pineal gland is located deep within the brain and is not directly accessible by light in humans. Thus, the goal is to enable light to reach the pineal gland, facilitating the appropriate levels of melatonin in accordance with the season. Conversely, during the winter months, when days are shorter, it makes sense to spend more time indoors. As a reminder, light must reach our eyes because the pineal gland is located deep within the brain and is not directly accessible by light in humans. Thus, the goal is to enable light to reach the pineal gland, facilitating the appropriate levels of melatonin in accordance with the season. Conversely, during the winter months, when days are shorter, it makes sense to spend more time indoors. This concept is fascinating because it signifies that the external environment has a profound influence on our internal state. Melatonin is well recognized for its role in inducing sleep, but I should mention that I'm not particularly fond of melatonin supplementation for various reasons. One important note: most melatonin supplements contain levels that are excessively high to be considered physiological, often being super physiological. Melatonin plays a crucial role in fortifying our bones and facilitating the repair of damaged bone components. Furthermore, it is involved in the maturation of the gonads, specifically the ovaries and testes, during puberty. However, its effects on gonadal maturation tend to be suppressive, resulting in reduced testicle volume and affecting various functions within the testes, including sperm production and testosterone synthesis. Within the ovaries, melatonin can also suppress the maturation of eggs. It's important to note that the majority of melatonin's effects on these functions are reversible, so there's no need for concern if you've been taking melatonin supplements. It's worth mentioning that one of the reasons children do not enter puberty until a specific age is due to their chronically elevated levels of endogenous melatonin, which is healthy and delays puberty until the appropriate time. Thus, melatonin has contrasting effects, increasing bone mass while decreasing gonadal mass to some extent, with outcomes depending on the balance and levels of other hormones and biological processes in the body. Thank you for joining us in this enlightening journey through the intricate relationship between light and our health. We hope you've gained valuable insights and a deeper appreciation for the profound impact that light can have on our well-being. If you found this episode informative and engaging, stay tuned for more in our ongoing series. Remember, the right light can be the key to optimizing your health. Until next time, may your path be well illuminated and your health radiant.